What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here at Island Brewery and we're not on the short pad, we're playing the front nines, mid-ranges. This is the battle with the neutral 5 speeds. So one of the most frequently sold discs around the world is the Buzz, and then everyone else's favorite neutral mid-range, the Hex. These are all 5.5 -1.1 discs, except for the Buzz is a 5.4, 5.5 -1.1. We also have the Orbit Prime Truth, we have the Origin, and we have the Berry. All of these have the flight numbers 5 speed, -1.1. Let's see how they fly and compare against each other. So we're playing front 9, long pads, to the long basket, except for hole number 8 because that's a par 4 and nobody actually wants us to play that one. And unlike the Battle of the 1 speeds, unlike some other battles that I've done here, we have 5 discs. So we have big score swing potentials because furthest away gets 1 point, closest to the pin gets 5 points, and then they're just gonna add up and stack up from there. This might be trouble to keep up with it in my head, but we're gonna do our best. Order I have them on the tee pad right now. We have Berry, Origin, Truth, Hex, and then the Buzz. That's the order they're sitting there, so that's gonna be their starting order. Let's go ahead and toss off the Berry. Hole 1, 333 feet. It's gonna be a very long hyzer. Okay. That was a pretty bad throw. Never thrown an Origin, but out of all of these, I think the Origin is the flippiest one. It definitely has a much lower parting line than the Truth or the Buzz. So this one might be hyzer flip this. Not that flippy though. That's not bad. Definitely too much hyzer. And this Truth and this Orbit Prime plastic is very flat topped. Now I already had a couple of these discs to do this video with, and then one of my friends from work brought me this disc and I'm like, well, let's add it into the stack. Oh, big hit. Oh, we're gonna be dodging raindrops. Yeah. All right, heck. Might have been the best shot of them all, but it looked like it got a bad kick or a bad skip late. So it might be further away than some of the other ones. Now the Buzz. Oh, that's so low. Okay. Berry's 1 point. Let's go pick them all up. So they landed in this order: Origin with 5 points, Berry with 1. Now the thing is, I know what you might be thinking. Where's your Innova disc? Well, since this is 5.5 -1.1, Innova doesn't have an easy to attain 5.5 -1.1 disc. Their version of that is the Skeeter. So they either have more overstable that then you beat in to be this flight, or they have more neutral in the Mako and the Mako 3, which is a 0.0. So while these are the neutral discs, these are neutral with more play left to right. The Mako is much more laser beam, so it doesn't really hold up in quite the same category as these. That being said, let's pump all of these. Hole 2 to the long, from long to long, is 312 feet. It's gonna be another pushing hyzer. Let's see if we can get these babies to fly straight. Look at that drift. That is a very good straight mid-range. Oh, by the way, I've never thrown an Origin before. So the first 2 throws you saw with it were the first 2 throws that I've ever thrown with an Origin. Hex is it's a really good mid-range. I've not always been super confident with it, but with what I'm changing with my form right now, the Hex might come back in the bag. There might be a Hex resurgence. Now it's time for, and is there any, it's honestly really funny that this is like the traditional mid-range. You either throw a rock or a buzz, and this one finished exactly in the middle of the 5 stack. This also is the first time that I've thrown a truth. I've thrown an EMAC truth once before. It was just like a CTP challenge disc, and I got it. I threw it a couple times, didn't like it, but that was when I was still throwing everything on Anheuser. So, truth. Let's see how it holds up over the course of today. Oh, yeah. Hole number 3. Now the berry. Thrown this for one challenge before. Kind of like it. Right now the berry sits in my car as the backup in case I lose my Rock 3, which I don't plan on losing. But if I need a replacement right then and there, I have the berry and I have the dune. That's me way down the hill. Too high. Oh, good tree. I'm gonna guess that the truth is the furthest away. This is officially the best shot I've ever had on this hole, and that's with a Hex. All right, Hex with 9, Buzz and Origin both have 7, Berry has 4, and Truth has 3. So this order, hole number 3, 278 feet. It's pretty much straight with a tiny finish off to the right. So most people from here want to throw forehand, either straight forehand or turnover forehand. That's not what I'm going to do with these discs. We're going backhand turnover. Some of these should actually kind of help me get over there. Ones like the Hex and the Origin. I think the Buzz and the Truth, I'm going to have to turn them a little bit more. So pretty. Oh, that's low, I think. Oh, thought out a little bit. Berry. I'll hold it. I don't know if it's just the berry, because this is the only time I've ever thrown a berry, or if it's the steady ring plastic. It's got a little bit of integrity to it. I think the Origin should fly similar to the Hex, though. Oh yeah, there we go. A little bit more to the right. Okay. The interesting thing about all these mids is, other than the Hex, which is super flat because it's been overmolded, and the Truth, which is super flat, just, I don't know if it's just in general super flat, because I don't really throw Truths. All the rest of them have pretty decent amount of dome, so they're going to be a little bit more soft and mellow in their flights. The Truth feels like, because of how flat it is, if you get it on Anheuser, it's just going to kind of dump that way because it's not that overstable. So because of how flat it is, it's going to be less muted and a little bit more turn fade, if that makes sense. So it's been kind of a steady drizzle, but this is the first hole where you can really kind of see it. You can also kind of see the basket, which is out there at the top of this mountain where those people are. Hex is starting to pull away. It now has 3 strokes over the closest disc, which is the Origin, which 2 years ago, if you had given me all of these discs, the Truth probably would have performed the best, because I've always had trouble with the Buzz. And the Hex and the Origin just would have been turnover discs for me. The Truth or the Berry would have probably performed the best, but since I've been working on my Heiser release, I'm actually starting to really like these discs now, and I didn't like them necessarily before, so it's possible I might be switching up. I'm not going to be switching away from what my bag is. I might just be mixing and matching a little bit more as we go throughout the rest of this year, just because my form is changing, what I'm able to throw is changing, and now I'm getting a little bit more consistent with Heiser release. That being said, Hex is up first. 14 points after 3 holes. That's insane. Oh, it's gonna fade too much. I was too inside. I forgot to say, this hole is 338 feet. Should have said that earlier. Completely blanked. There's the turn. That might be the one. I don't know if I can get any closer than that. I'm also loving the way this berry looks. It flies pretty good too. But sometimes you put a disc in your bag just because it looks pretty. Yeah, it doesn't really flip like the Origin does. Okay. More towel action. Oh, I turned that one. See what I mean about that super flat top? If you can get it on that angle, it's just gonna burn over. And I don't know if you watched my bag swap video, but anyone that did, and Sabrina, if you're watching, let's hope it turns out better than last time. That's not bad. Buzz might have pulled some points back there. Hole 5, 285. It's basically straight. It's a little bit of a flex right hand, backhand, if you can get it. I don't know if any of these discs will actually flex. Buzz actually took some points back. Was the CTP. So maybe I just have to talk it up or else I throw it terrible. Anyways, pump it out there. A little bit of a flex. Let's see if it works. And the grip locks are back. Specifically grip locks with that Buzz, because that's happened every single time I've thrown it except for like that hole. I always tend to just grip lock it straight right. Oh, Mo, it was almost perfect. Oh, I'm gonna slip and fall. Get there. Get there. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. Oh, I didn't turn that at all. So straight. The question is, can I handle the truth? I guess the better question to be, can hole 5 handle the truth? Oh boy. Actually not bad. I think I walked right into the way of that. It kicked back to the middle, so not bad. It's going to be their second or third, which I think is the best it's scored on a single hole so far. I think the berry is last because the Buzz kicked a little bit more forward and the berry kicked straight left. But yeah, I see the berry. I don't see the Buzz yet. I think the berry. Gonna have to do some more tabulations on the next tee pad. Hole number 6, 325 feet, but it's an Asheville 325, so it's like 35 feet downhill. So whenever I'm actually stepping up onto this tee pad, I always tell myself I can reach it with an NB. I probably can't, but I keep trying it anyways. We're gonna go with the Hex, Truth, Buzz, Origin, Berry. Just a really straight tunnel shot here. Don't drift too much. It drifted too much. Kicked right. Way down there though. Oh. Turn. No. I parked the short tee pad because I hit a tree and literally rolled back up the hill to the short tee pad. Oh, yuck. That's further away than the truth. Not like that. Good forward roll. It's beating out the two that are over there. Berry performed kind of bad on the last one, mainly because I performed kind of bad throwing the berry. Not that the berry performed bad, I just didn't throw it very well. And I threw it poorly again. Hole number 7, it is 314. This really does shape for a flex backhand. Otherwise, the gap is so extremely small. So we're gonna try it, but some of these discs may not like the gap. Oh, by the way, the hex currently is 6 above the closest competitor. It is running away with it right now. Hold straight, hold straight, hold straight. Oh, that's a good rip. Not bad. Origin might do the same thing here. Oh, too much hyzer. Different gap. Honestly, it'll kind of be where they slid to. The Origin might be closer. Buzz, this one I am gonna have to turn it a little bit. Oh boy. Grip locks are back with the Buzz. And kind of to the middle. I think that means if the berry's wet, does that mean it's either raining or I'm gonna have fresh berries for lunch. What did I do? That was so bad. My form completely fell apart there for like a split second. While we're on this D-pad, I want to talk about something that bugs me about different flight numbers. So the Origin is a 5.5 -1.1. The Hex is a 5.5 -1.1. Both of these flip up out of the box, brand new, off the shelf. You throw them really hard on a bit of hyzer, they're gonna flip up to flat and ride pretty straight before they fade. That's what -1.1 should do. My issue with Discraft flight numbers is they're just incredibly unpredictable and unreliable. So a Buzz, 5.4 -1.1. Sometimes it's flippier than a Comet, and sometimes it's more overstable than a Zone. So what are we doing right now? Discraft typically puts their numbers for hyzer release players. So if it says it's a -1, it's probably more like a -2. This is more like an MD3. It's more like a 0.1. Same with the Truth. Why are these in this category? Why are they numbered that way? Because the Truth and the Buzz, the rest of their company's manufacturers' flight numbers are way more understable than they say that they are. Whereas Discmania and Axiom, MVP, Streamline, their numbers are always spot on. I've never thrown a disc from them that didn't hold up to the flight numbers as long as you could get it up to the right speed. And both of these are -1.1. Origin might be a -1.0, but both of these fly so similar. What is wrong with the Buzz? What is wrong with Discraft's flight numbers? What is wrong with Trilogy's flight numbers? They're so unpredictable, they're so unreliable, and you can't go buy the exact same disc 2 times in a row because they're gonna switch up the runs on you. Anyways, Origin snuck out one more point over. Actually, it was more of like a 2-stroke swing because this was a 4 and this was a 5. So I guess it was really only a 1-stroke. Anyways, hole 8, we're playing to the short basket because the long basket is a 600-foot par 4. The basket's right there. It's gonna be a soft little hyzer. Origin has the box. Look at that flip up. Now, threw it too soft, but it flipped up from the hyzer angle it was on to a different hyzer angle, and then it stayed there. That's a -1. Watch the Hex. Flipped up. And then went way too far. Nope. Berry flies more like an MD3 as well. Buzz. See, the problem is I have to throw it straight or flat, or else it's not gonna, or it's gonna fade too early. But this hole doesn't need that. It needs something that is just a pushing hyzer. A little bit of warpage, mostly back to flat, mostly back to round. But that section of the rim is going to be permanently disfigured from now on. Okay, there's the flip. See, I wasn't getting that with the Truth before, but it does feel like a less premium plastic. So the couple of tree hits we got just in the 8 holes we've thrown so far, it's going to make it a little bit more flippy. It's not going to be unusably so, but just a little bit, just a touch more than what you were expecting before, and it's going to gradually season in to be an understable mid-range. But right now it's actually the flight numbers, and on hole 1 it was definitely not the flight numbers. Last hole, we're playing the one down to the left, so 235. The hex currently is 7 points above everyone else. It is 36 points, which means if it won out on 7 holes and then got last place on another hole, it would be at 36 points. It is basically the top dog in the running right now. So based off of the way that I'm throwing right now, if I had to stick one of these molds into my bag, guess which one it might be? You've guessed it, it's the hex. Secondly, I know that the numbers and how well I threw it don't correlate, but I think secondly would be the berry. The plastic's too pretty. I just haven't really learned the flip point on it yet, and I think it just needs a couple more trees and it would be perfectly seasoned. It's close, but it's not quite there yet. And then the Origin's pretty good, and the Buzz and the Truth just are not for me. The weird thing is I told myself last year that I would never ever buy a hex ever again. And then I had to buy a hex for this video, and it's the disc that performed the best. So if I had to bag one of these, it might be the hex, believe it or not. My game's changing, my form's changing, what I'm capable of and what I'm comfortable with is changing. So we'll see how it plays out here. Hex currently has 7 points over the next closest, which is the Origin, 36 to 29. We're gonna make it interesting, and if any of these discs ace, highly unlikely, but if any of these discs ace, we'll double it. We'll make it a 10 pointer. So let's toss them all, see how close they can get. Little inside. The weird thing is, believe it or not, the Truth actually came in second on the last hole. I think it was the tree hit. It needs a couple of trees and then it'd be perfect. Oh, see the flip now? It was overstable this morning, earlier. It's also a little bit breezier now, so stuff that wasn't flippy before is going to flip up now, just because of the wind. The rain finally went away, but the wind is here to stay, I think. Fade more. Oh, those brands got it. That would have been perfect. Nope, that's not gonna do it. Looks like the hex is gonna win out for today. Let's throw the berry this one last time. See if we can get a cool ace shot here. Get there. Push, that's too far left. Like I said before, if I had to, at this point in time, I would bag the hex. Currently, I don't need that because I have a 15-year-old Star Rock 3 that flies almost identical to a hex or to the berry or those -1-1 discs. And I feel more confident and comfortable with it. But if I were to lose it, those are going in the bag. If I were to switch up my game a touch more, I think I might shy away from the Rock 3 just ever so slightly. I think I might go back to the hex. The hex feels amazing. It flies great. I just wasn't good at throwing on hyzer before. And I'm much better at throwing on hyzer now. And oh my goodness, the Origin is parked. Oh well. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all that down below. I'm going to try to remember, while I'm editing, to flash the numbers up on the screen, because I did keep a running tally, so I have the total scores for what everything got. But please make sure to subscribe. Helps you out, all the giveaways, and it helps me out. And until next time, see you out on the course.